around us.
All right, Tyler, how's it going?
Dave, what's going on, man? Excited to be here with you and kicking off this new Greenleaf webinar series. This is going to be great.
Yeah, very excited today. So thanks for joining, everyone. Today, we're just going through how to find a partner in real estate. So a little background on us. I'm Dave Codre. I'm based in Atlanta with Greenleaf. I've been doing real estate for the past really 20 years. And my good friend Tyler up here, he's in Nashville, Tennessee, and also kind of the same trajectory. We've met each other, I don't even know, 15 years ago at this point now.
Yeah, it's been forever ago. Yeah, I've been in real estate since 2013. Dropped out of college, got right into it. One of the best things I could have ever done, and it's been a fun industry to be a part of and watch the wave. Really crest over the last 13 years. So fun to get to do this. Like Dave said, I'm based in Nashville. And we cover territory basically all over the Southeast, especially from Nashville to Atlanta.
Yeah. So together, we've done everything from apartments to flex to warehouse, mobile homes. And I mean, in that, Tyler, you opened a hotel this past weekend.
Yeah, right? We did. A little bit of everything. I mean, that's the fun thing about commercial real estate. I like to say, hey, whatever keeps us entertained, whatever's going to make us money, right? We're going to be opportunists for sure when it comes to that world. So yeah, I mean, you guys had 4,500 apartment units at one point. You made the shift around 2018 into commercial after I had been begging you guys to make the shift. But yeah, man, I mean, everything from we converted a car wash, a 6-bay car wash into 5 micro restaurants and a bar. Last week, we opened up our first boutique hotel. We've got 1.5 million square feet of industrial in Chattanooga, not including all of our holdings at Greenleaf. So a wide variety of assets.
Yeah. And along the way, and part of this webinar here, it's like we've done everything from being an investor in a deal. We've been the sponsor of a deal. We've been the third-party manager. Tyler's done a bunch of brokerage. But really, along the way, none of these things can happen without another partner. So very seldom are you doing a real estate deal where you are the person that finds it, buys it, operates it, leases, sells it. Like, it just doesn't work that way. You've got to find good partners throughout the trajectory of an investment to make it work. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Talk through.
Yeah, no man is an island. I mean, commercial real estate is 100% a team sport, and it's all about making sure that you have the right people on board so that you can do this right. Because 1 + 1 can equal 3. 1 + 1 can also equal -5 if you don't get it right. So it's very important that you pick the right partners.
Yes. All right. So we got two, kind of when I talk about real estate in general, just two interesting tidbits of information here. One, let's say you're looking at the apartment industry. The apartment industry and real estate in general, it's extremely fragmented, right? So even the top 10 largest owners of real estate in the country that are operating stuff, they're like 12% of the total market. That means, there's 88% of all of the real estate out there that's owned by individuals or smaller groups. And it's really an opportunity to get involved. And that's just on the residential side. The commercial side is even more fragmented. There's roughly 19 billion square feet of industrial space that is out there, and only 7% of it is owned by the largest groups. I mean, these are huge groups, and you look at Prologis on the largest of anything, they're the only one that even has more than 1% of the market. So there's a huge opportunity out there to go find people to do a real estate deal with and get to see what's happening out there in the real estate space. So
it's pretty interesting to think about because other countries are not like this, right? The United States is very, very unique in this sense to where there's so much opportunity in the real estate world. I mean, you look at a country like Australia and it's almost entirely flipped, right? You have a lot of concentration of real estate with, a handful of people. And there's so much opportunity to get involved in commercial real estate at any level. I mean, even multifamily, right? I mean, we talk all the time about how multifamily is oversaturated. There's too much going on there. But still, the top owner owns 4.4%? And they own over 1 million units. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just think about that, 1,000,000 units. It's like, that's a huge number, but small compared to the whole market.
Right.
So when we look at how we're going to do one of these deals, how we're going to do a deal, how we're going to make something work, Tyler and I, the first thing we're looking at is, okay, who is going to be on the team going forwards, and what position are we going to take? So one of the first things we look at is, what area are you comfortable investing in? So this could mean, hey, you're in a small town and you like that town, you want to invest in that, or are you comfortable investing on the other side of the country? Like that's a big gap, and knowing how you personally feel about that is very important. And one, you got to stick to your guns. If you say, hey, I want to invest locally, and you're like, oh, I found a great deal and it's in Miami. It's like, well, unless you're local to Miami, are you going to go against what you just said you're going to do? So you got to stick to your, kind of your buy box, your investment thesis of how you're going to operate. For me personally, I've always liked investing in areas that I can go to, that I can see them, that I understand why they're performing well or not performing well. And, that holds me back. I'm not investing in stuff all over the country. I'm only investing in stuff in the Southeast that I can go see directly.
I mean, here's the thing with that. Like, I have always been hyper localized when it comes to my real estate investments, right? Like, we look at East Nashville, right? I try and dominate this market. We've bled over into Madison, which is the next neighborhood next door. The thing is, like, we could operate and do nothing but those two neighborhoods for the rest of our lives and get to the point where we own several $100 million worth of real estate, if not even $1 billion, right? So it all comes down to, what are you comfortable with? And if you want to see it, just invest in your backyard. There are deals everywhere. There's not some special market that you can necessarily go find. I think that this 100% comes down to, what are you comfortable doing for yourself?
Yeah. The next part of it is, how do you actually want to earn passive income? Now, people say, like, hey, I want to earn passive income. It's like, well, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Are you looking for, you want a consistent monthly check all the time? Or are you okay with saying, hey, in 5 years, I want to see a deal that is worth 3 times what I invested in, and I'm going to get all capital gains as my return? No monthly checks, all capital gains at a targeted time in the future, 3 years, 5 years. Those are two vastly different investment theses. And then, do you just want to invest in the deal, or do you want to actually be the one that fully owns the deal? You don't want any investors with you. How do you want to make that happen? So it's very important to understand how you actually want to earn money through real estate, because that very much goes into who are your partners going to be, how are you going to find the opportunity. Everything ties to how you want to earn that money.
Yeah, you're going to take a completely different approach if you need cash today, as opposed to if you just want a better retirement, right? You're going to be looking at very, very different assets, different investment styles, and different partners. So all of that really matters.
Yeah. If you want cash today, you should not invest in a development. Right? It's like, no, that's
absolutely not.
But if you're okay with that risk, you're like, hey, I don't need cash today, but hey, 3 to 5, 7 years from now, I'd love to see something that drastically can increase in value. It's like, hey, a development deal, more risk is maybe something you should be looking at. All right, the other part is timeline. You have to be honest with yourself. When do you need the capital that you're investing? Okay, it could be that you're putting money away for a kid's college, or you're looking at retirement, or you want to buy a home with it. But it's like, hey, if you really need that money in 4 years, you've got to make sure that you go into an investment that you can get your money out of within 4 years and understand how that works. You don't want to do something if you need the money in 2 years and you tied up in a 7-year development project. No matter what the returns are, you are not going to be happy with how that deal is going. And you need to have a partner that's willing to tell you, like, hey, the reality is, this is our timeline. Here's a best case. Here's a worst case of what we're looking at. And how long am I going to be in this project for? I think anyone that's been in real estate long enough knows there's always projects that go over on time. It's just, if you find someone that has a perfect track record, they've never been late on a project ever. I don't know, Tyler, you ever meet anyone that says, hey, 100% of the time, on time, all the time, they've done 100 deals?
Absolutely not. Not unless it's a train in Japan. That just does not happen. It's impossible. I mean, here's the thing. Like, every syndicator that you talk to, like, if you are seriously considering going and placing 50, 100, 500,000, $1 million with a syndicator, ask them about their blemishes. Every single one should have them if they have actually been doing this, because nothing ever goes according to plan. It's all about how that operator goes through and figures it out, right? You're going to get hit in the face. It's how you react to it after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah. We all make, when we're on the sponsor side, right? It's nicer when you're on the LP side and you kind of get to watch how it goes and ask questions, right? On the sponsor side, right, you got to make assumptions going into a deal. You've got, say, 60 days to figure out how the next 5 years are going to go. And inevitably, you're going to get some of those things wrong. And you're going to have to adjust and adapt and modify the business plan accordingly to make sure that you can get things done quickly, so you can get to revenue faster, so that you can make distributions. So knowing what your target is as on the investor side, as the LP side looking at doing a deal, it's critical in making sure that no matter what the returns are, you're happy with what you've done with your hard-earned money. Okay, another part here that's pretty important is there's real estate is just always has this problem with the shiny object. It is. There's always something shinier. There's always something better. It's like, look at this, look at that. It's like, how do you actually stick to, like, I want to invest in this type of an asset, and here is why I believe that it's important. That could be, hey, you want to invest in apartments because, look, people are always going to need a place to live, right? You want to invest in industrial because you could use the same as that. Look, everything gets somewhere on trucks, right? Inevitably, there's going to be on a truck at some point in time. You could have these beliefs, right? And they may be accurate, but you have to be able to stick to, why do you think this is the asset class for you?
Yeah, I get asked all the time, like, what's the best asset class to invest in? Like, if I'm just getting started, what's the number one thing for me? Or if I want to make the most money in the long run, what should I do? And my answer is always, you can make a crazy amount of money doing literally anything in commercial real estate. There are guys for the last 2, 3, 4 years that have been exclusively buying offices that I think in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years are going to make an insane amount of money because they were able to buy when everybody else was scared. Right. So it all comes down to, what is your familiarity and what excites you? What are you going to be interested in working in? Like, again, if you're a medical professional, you're a doctor, maybe you just invest in medical office buildings because that's familiar to you. You understand that world. You understand that buyer, that demographic for the tenant, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, pick what resonates with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you go through this stuff. Now you've got a strategy in mind, and this could be your kind of thesis, your buy box. You're like, this is what I want to do. It's like, for me, it's like, hey, I want to invest in something that I can drive to and easily see. I'd like to get current distributions. I don't want to be the owner and actually handle phone calls, but I'd like to know what's happening. And, I've got a 10-year horizon, and I definitely want something commercial oriented, like an industrial or retail that I can see is being used every single day. So once I've done that and I say, hey, this is what I believe that works for me, then you can go into, how do you identify a partner that matches up with what you're trying to do? And almost anything you're trying to do in real estate, there is someone out there that is super interested in that, wants to help you do it, and is running projects right now in almost every town in the country. So there's 3 ways to look at who can help you accomplish your thesis. There's the brokerage side, which is these are guys that are out there all day, every day, creating deal flow, finding opportunities that can be achieved by really an operator or a syndicator. The brokers are basically out there stirring up the pot, making sure deals come to the surface. It's not easy to convince someone that they should sell their deal. As counterintuitive that sounds, like, look, some people own real estate, they don't want to sell them. Brokers have to come in and try and extract those opportunities and take them to the market. The next partner you can look for is a local operator. There's lots of groups out there that are third-party managers that are boots on the ground, handling everything on the real estate side. When you go to any building, there's people. You go to a commercial building, there's people at the front desk, right? There's maintenance, there's engineers in that building. You go to an apartment community, there's someone leasing that space, there's someone that's handling the maintenance in an apartment unit. That's all done by the local operator, that third-party manager that is in your area. And the other part of the spectrum is the syndicator. And this is typically a group that is putting together capital resources, both equity and debt, to purchase a piece of real estate that then sometimes they could use a local operator. They're going to have a broker that helps find that opportunity for them. So all three of these people are the team that's going to be needed to pull off any real estate deal. Now, when you think about how do I go out and find someone that can help me with my thesis? So when I was giving that example, right, I was like, I want to find something that's local and it's commercially oriented. So, okay, I need to then go Google local operators, local commercial deals. Just go drive around in the commercial areas and look what signs are on the ground there. And those are the first calls that you're going to make. So you find those just initial kind of, and yes, they're cold leads. It's not fully passive. There's no like magic bullet of just like, oh, here's the list of these people. It's like they're out there, but it does require some work to go find and introduce yourself to these different groups.
Yeah, one big thing that you could do as you're going through this process and trying to find the right syndicates to invest into, follow the local business journal and just see who's actually closing deals in the areas that you want to be in. Jump on LinkedIn and search for people in your area, start following people and asking other commercial real estate professionals, hey, who raises capital for deals that I should be following? Because of the way that the system is set up for syndicates, it's really not that easy to just go and find a list of every single person that syndicates commercial real estate, right? Let alone the ones that you should actually partner with and give your money to, right? So it's very much a relationship-based game. So talk to your friends, see who they're investing with, find people on LinkedIn, reach out that way. Go to the events. ULI is the Urban Land Institute is a great way to find other groups that are doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And for the most part, people in real estate love talking about real estate. So normally you find someone that's interested in it and they are willing to talk to you, share information. It's we go back to like the fact that it is a team sport. Brokers in your area will happily talk to pretty much anyone that's interested in real estate and see if there's something that can be done there.
Yeah, your brokers are like the underworld. Look, I come from a background of brokerage. The good ones will know just about everything about everybody, right? And so it's going to make them look good if you're interested in investing in deals and they connect you with one of their clients. So reach out to the brokers too.
Yeah. And it really doesn't end. I've been doing this a long time and the conversations with brokers, the meeting people in real estate, the going and finding operators and other syndicators, and we invest in deals in other markets as well. Well, you got to keep having those conversations, keep meeting people to see what's happening in this market, what deals are out there, who's moving into the space. All that stuff really matters if you want to go find the best opportunities. Cool. So, a couple of things, just if you're talking to someone about, hey, I'm considering, I got some money, I want to put this into something, it's pretty imperative that you ask them like, hey, what deals have they executed before? We mentioned all the back, like, hey, you've executed these deals. What went wrong in the timeline? What went wrong in the budget? Like they will, if they're a good operator, they're a good manager, a good broker, they will very much share with you the kind of war stories of things that didn't go so well and other things that went great. And then just ask for examples of some of the reporting that they provide. Like if you want monthly distributions, you should be getting monthly reports. If you're okay with a development deal that's going to go 5 years out, you have to be like, hey, how am I going to know if this development deal is on track or off track, right? Like you got to be able to, barring you're just sitting there and looking at the deal physically every day, which you're probably not going to want to do. What is the reporting that's going to happen that enables you to keep track of how this deal is performing?
Yeah, I see a lot of investors that are getting into this for the first time and they don't know what to ask. So they don't think to ask these things. And that's all very, very important. Right. I mean, there's nuances to investing in these deals. So make sure that you've got a great real estate attorney as well that is helping you go through this because, hey, there's some things that you won't think to ask. Is it a return of capital or a return on capital? Those would be two very different things. And it's literally the difference of one letter in the whole sentence. Right. So, you want to make sure that you understand things like that. And then, kind of like what Dave said, I can't hammer this point more. I mean, the track record is everything. It is everything. You've got 60 days to determine how a deal is going to go for the next 5 years. You're going to miss some aspects of it. But again, how did they handle it? I don't want to invest with the perfect operator. I want to invest with the operator that got kicked in the teeth and they got right back up and they ran their head through the wall and made it happen. Right. That to me is far more impressive because that's what's going to happen. I mean, real estate, all real estate is at the end of the day is problem solving. Who's the best at solving problems?
Yeah. And they're going to keep coming. There's no shortage of problems in real estate.
That's right.
Yeah. And the other part is just asking for a referral of a current investor, right? If someone's got a good track record, they perform well, they'll probably happily share a person that they've worked with that's been on their team along the way to have a conversation with you. So I would say, talking to one of those people, and they can help you also understand like what reporting have they received? What are they looking for? How do they analyze a deal, or what gets them excited about it? Having that conversation is a great way to just gain information and determine what's the best fit for you if you're looking at doing one of these things. Cool. All right, folks. One of the other parts that's super interesting, Tyler, you want to share your website? I mean, we go through this idea of what's your thesis, but we call it really the buy box of how you're going to look at a commercial real estate deal. We have very specific things we're looking for across the board, and we want to know, hey, does this fit? Like, I'm looking for 2 acres in this submarket, in this neighborhood with this type of tenant. Outside of that, that might be outside my buy box. I'm not interested in doing it. You've got to stick with what is interesting to you and what you have conviction in. So Tyler, really, I mean, how long have you been working with just this buy box idea that's out there?
Oh man, for a long time, right? Because here's the thing: like whether you're buying deals on your own, whether you're a limited partner, the more that you actually sit down and think through what you want, like what is going to be a yes for you, there's so many opportunities out there, right? You should never ever have to force a deal. If you're having to force something, that to me is a volume issue. You're not looking at enough deals. The right deal for you is out there. So that's either go have more conversations or figure out what's broken in the system, but put together your buy box. Get set in what you are looking, what you want, right? I mean, if you're dating and you come up with all of your ideal, qualities in somebody that you want to marry, you're not just going to throw a bunch of those qualities out the window because somebody happened to come along, right? Hopefully not. And it's the same way with investing in real estate, right? So that's why we put together this buy box quiz. It is free to take. You don't have to give us your email or anything. If you go to tylercobble.com/buybox, that's all one word. And we've dropped that in the LinkedIn chat as well. Feel free to go take that quiz and you will actually be able to print out your buy box by the end of it that you can share with operators. You can share with brokers, whatever you are looking to do. It will help you just solidify what you guys are looking for.
Yeah. Well, we got a question here too. Just, you like the idea of investing in a retail center in your area. How do you know which ones are good or not? And can you buy into an existing one? So good or not is sometimes tricky to figure out, right? You want to know, are people going to that retail center? Is it occupied? Is it for sale? Is it one that's going to transact? It's very hard to buy into an existing real estate deal. Typically, every time we're seeing something, there is a transaction where a new owner, a new capital group comes in to buy it. So to find that, I would basically start with like, hey, what retail brokers are in your area and can they point you in the right direction of who's operating the retail centers, who's owning them, and how can you get introduced to groups that will be looking to purchase the assets. It's really hard to just invest into an existing real estate deal just of how the capital stack structure works. Once you're in the deal, it's normally you run through the exit from start to finish. So I think that would be very hard to invest in a current one without a transaction.
Yeah, far easier to just buy out the existing owner, because I mean, here's the thing. You're jumping in. If you buy into the existing partnership, you're also buying into any and all liabilities that pre-exist your arrival, right? So you want to be very careful about the liabilities there as well. I love that question. I love retail. We've done a ton of retail. There was a period where everybody was scared of it. Well, guess what? It's one of the strongest asset classes today. I mean, retail in Nashville, and I'm sure it's the same in Atlanta and many of these other top cities, it's crushing it. I mean, you can't build enough of it because we're not building power centers anymore. It's all ground floor mixed use retail today. And it's flying off the shelves. Biggest thing for retail, think about what your retail tenants are going to want. I always put myself into the business's shoes. If I'm a retail business, I want walkability. I want people to see me. I want people to very easily be able to park and come and visit me, right? So that drive-by traffic, the walkable traffic, the neighborhood, parking, all of that is super important.
Yeah. So I have another question here too. If you want to invest somewhere else in the country, how do you go about meeting the right people? Right? That's like, hey, you might live in one area and your conviction is you want to invest in an area that's 1,000 miles away. How are you going to find people in that area that can work with you? How do you find someone that's going to be your partner there? It's like being that far away. I mean, the first thing you got to do is just look on which brokers are in that area, which operators are in that area. And that could be as simple as looking at, if you want to look at apartments, go to apartments.com and see who the managers are that are in that area. And don't call the property. It's normally not going to get you anywhere. If you're calling the property looking for an operator, call their office, call the manager's office and ask them, tell them who you are and what you're interested in doing and see if there's someone that you could talk to in that group. Almost every management group, they have an office and they have someone that's working with the owners of the deals. So that's the best way. In our experience, if you want to find someone in another area that's not at all where you live, is starting there.
Yeah, we started off in Nashville. Like I founded my company in 2018, and we started in East Nashville and Madison. And then in 2021, we moved out to Chattanooga, right? So we started investing. It's only 2 hours away, but still, that's a day trip, right? So it's far enough away. You have to seriously consider it. And it took me 2 years of studying that market before I decided that I wanted to make that move into it, right? Because I wanted to know who the players were. I wanted to know what was going on in that market. I wanted to know, where my opportunities were based on this type of investing that I like to do, right? And I know that Dave and Josh and everybody at Greenleaf did the same thing before they expanded out of Atlanta. It's very important that you really study that market. You get to know everybody. Again, it's a relationship-based game. So if you love a market, go hang out at the chamber meetings. Go meet with all of the lenders. Go meet with all the brokers. Go tour properties. Just get to know everybody.
Yeah, I couldn't stress that more. It's so much like a team sport of getting these things done. You got to go meet people. All right. So another question that's here too is like, how do you know if someone's track record is real?
I like this one.
It's a very valid question. There's a decent amount of combined track record. We're like, hey, were you the lead on this deal or did you participate in the deal? Like, what does that actually look like? And finding someone else that was in the deal is normally the easiest way to confirm, like, hey, what happened here? It's like, hey, one person said the deal went this way. It's like, ask for a referral of someone else that was in the deal. Find the broker that sold the deal and see how it went. Find the manager that was operating the deal and just double check and ask that extra question. So a lot of times you look at if you're in an interview or you're doing something like, hey, just ask that other question. You've got it in your head. You want to ask it. Ask that other question, right? And go find out who else can corroborate what happened here on this project.
Yeah, look, nothing is sacred. Like, don't ever feel like there's a question you're like, oh, will this upset them if I ask it or whatever? It's like, no, look, the right operator, an operator with integrity will gladly take literally any question that you can throw at them. And they'll answer it honestly because that's the type of relationship that they want to have with their investors, right? That stuff really, really matters. So if you're sitting there wondering if you should ask, have they ever lost money on a deal? Ask them. They'll tell you, right? They should. If they get defensive about it, that tells you way more than, never asking that question ever could.
Yeah. And typically you ask that question, you should get like a 15 to 20 minute response of what that experience was like, because they will go through the whole backstory of how that played out.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to kind of wrap things up here too, if there's any other questions, we'll stick around for a little bit here, but checking out the BuyBox website of trying to see what is it that fits for you. What do you want to be accomplishing in your real estate investments? Check that out. Tyler and I are also doing office hours on May 27th from 6 to 7 p.m. It's a good time to just pop in and just kind of go through questions, talk about what's happening in the real estate market and see like, hey, I'm looking at doing this deal. How does this make sense? Does this, how do the numbers tie out here? Happy to talk through that stuff. We love doing this stuff. We love talking about real estate in general. So that's the next time that we're going to be together to connect if you'd like to join at that time.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I mean, Dave and I like to nerd out about commercial real estate. So, again, any questions you have, you got deals you're working on, you want to get our thoughts on it, jump at. I mean, if you've been following us on YouTube for a little bit, Dave and I have gone live. We've talked about all sorts of things, commercial real estate investing for years, and happy to do it. If you have questions on the deals that we're doing, we've got deals all over the Southeast, right? From, flex space industrial conversions to single tenant net lease retail deals. To ground up developments. If you've got questions on that, happy to answer that. Happy to talk through how we've scaled the companies, what we're doing there, and where the future is. So we'll see you guys in office hours.
All right. Thanks, everyone.